Welcome to this quick little video where I'm going to cover a few of the changes that have happened to Wales since the time that I have been playing them in the AAR that I've been doing. Now, of course, there were various things, especially in that first AAR that I mentioned, that were not working entirely as they maybe could or should do, leading to me needing to use the console. Specifically, just if you haven't watched those, to go over what those problems were. Firstly, when you are playing as Wales, obviously you start as, I think, 8 or 9 location minor, you annex all your vassals, and then in the early 1400s, it might be just before 1400s, you get an event that pops up for a descendant of the previous Welsh nobility, Owen Glyndŵr. And when he spawns, there's a few dynamic historical events regarding him, whether he is going to become a lawyer or a soldier or what have you. But essentially, historically, this Owen decides to become a bit of a rebel. He's kind of framed for some dodgy dealings by one of the barons in one of the English barons in one of these English marches. And he starts a rebellion, lasts 15 years, is eventually defeated, and Wales gets essentially incorporated into England. In EU5, when these dynamic historical events prop up, I essentially got two options. Either I could have Owen declare war on England for independence, and in that case, you just get crushed because England has 60,000 levies and you have maybe 8,000 at that time. It's impossible to win that. The other option was to not get involved in Owen's rebellion, but he would ferment a rebellion inside your nation. You get some rebels that would slowly tick up, and if they managed to get to 100, which was of course not guaranteed, then he would start a rebellion against you, specifically against Wales, and England would intervene and crush you. That is obviously not great. Some other issues regarding it is if you use the console, as I did, to win that war, Welsh would not even be an accepted culture. Because, of course, if you start as Wales, you have English primary culture, Welsh as a negative opinion, but accepted culture. You're also not able to accept cultures that are negative in the game. However, because of the feedback that I've given, about my game as Wales, that's no longer the case. You are now going to be able to accept cultures that are negatively opinionated against you. A good place where this may come into effect is if you are playing as the Empire of the Romans, the Eastern Roman Empire. Bulgarian is a negative opinion culture with Greek. And therefore, when you conquer the Bulgarian territory, you will have a very tough time integrating that land because it is a negative culture to yours. They do not favor the Greeks. This is no longer going to be the case. That hard block on accepting cultures for negative opinion is gone. It has been replaced now with a higher cost for culture capacity. So taking this Greek example, if you are the Romans, you've conquered all of Bulgaria, and say you manage to get them to be positive opinion, they may have taken up, I'm pulling numbers out my ass here, but 1.5 culture capacity out of your 2. Now, keeping them as negative opinion, they may cost 2.5. I have not got access to these changes. I can't give you exact numbers on how everything's going to work there. All I know that it is going to be a higher cost, whatever that means. Also, there is another variant of the Welsh flag, where we are going to be getting the rampant lion flag. So the Welsh flag in-game as it stands is essentially very similar to this, but the lions are, like, passive. They are stood on all fours. Think of the English flag in-game. They have passive lions. But now they are going to be able to use this one when it is ruled by Celts. However, if you are ruled by Celts because Owen Glyndŵr won his rebellion, which I'm going to get onto in a moment, how that's going to happen, then you also get a different flag again. You're going to be getting this flag, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. It is my favorite flag in the game right now. The way that you get this one is because the Owen's Rebellion has been changed now, and this is going to go for all rebellions. If you are a subject and you have a rebellion, your overlord is going to be barred from intervening for 12 months. You get a grace period of 12 months. Owen's Revolt also will now act as a civil war rather than a rebellion, which means that you will be able to choose which side you want to fight on. You can choose to stay as the English primary culture Wales, or you can choose to become Owen's Revolt. And I don't know this, but I hope that the Civil War Revolt tag is called Cymru. So that's how you say Wales in Welsh. I'm actually, as soon as I finish recording this, I'm going to go and ask, because I forgot to ask before. But that would be really, really cool. So yeah, there is now a 12-month grace period where England, with its 60,000 levies, cannot get involved in your war, which is absolutely phenomenal, fantastic. That's perfect. 12 months, is that going to be enough for you to win a civil war? I think yes. I think that is going to be plenty enough time, because essentially what you're going to need to do is win one battle, perhaps, and also occupy a bunch of forts. If you know that civil war is coming, can you delete the forts? Can you lower the maintenance of those forts, make it easier for your civil war to win? Probably. Wales is very, very fortified, though. So I think if this rebellion happens in an AI game, I don't see Owen ever really winning. There's just too many forts for him to get through before England gets involved. But you know what? As a player, you can absolutely make some efforts and moves in order to make that transition into Owen's Cymru as smooth as possible, which is fantastic. If Owen wins this war, he will become fully independent. When he becomes fully independent, England then gets a CB on him. So CB on Wales. I worry about this. I hope that there is also going to be a truce between Owen's, Wales, and England. Otherwise, England might just instantly use that CB to re-vassalize, reintegrate, reconquer Wales, which would really be a little bit of a damper on things, for sure. But, getting a defensive pact with France is not terribly difficult, especially if, you swap to Owen's side. You have 12 months before England can get involved in the war. You spend those 12 months improving relations with France, and then as soon as your war is over, doing the getting the defensive pact. I think you can probably do it. So definitely, it's so much better than it was when I played, like, without a shadow of a doubt. Other things that have changed as well, or not changed, but I have been informed about, is that the Kingdom of Predane, which is the tag that we were told about in the English map, or I guess the Great Britain map dev diary. Predane was said to be a formable for the Celtic nations of the British Isles. It is a localization of the regular Great Britain formable. So I guess if you form Great Britain as England and then culture flip yourself to Welsh somehow, your country will then also be called the Kingdom of Predane. And there is a flag change to go with that, and it is this one right here, which is essentially the Great Britain flag, but it has black where the blue usually is, and it's fine. I feel like if I have won the war as Owen Glendour, I'm gonna be taking the Golden Dragon flag over it, because let's be honest, it's just fire. It's absolutely gorgeous. So that would be my preference anyway. But yeah, I am really quite happy with the pace that this changed, right? I had an issue in my campaign. I wrote feedback for my campaign, very soon after, I was contacted by St. Dave, and basically was told, I will make some fixes about this next week. Literally the next day, yeah, it is the next day. On the 21st, I was told I'll make some fixes next week. On the 22nd is when I started receiving some of those changes. And then today on the 25th, or I guess it was yesterday, I was told that I could share those because they had been merged into the developers branch of the game. Unfortunately, I don't have access to this branch. I don't know when the creators are going to get an updated branch of the game. I'm hoping it's soon. That would be absolutely phenomenal. Especially because I asked if me loading up my save with that new branch would show like the flag changes and such, and he posted a picture. I'm obviously not allowed to show it, but he posted a picture of my game with the new Owen Glyndor Golden Dragon flag, and I gotta say, it's kind of fire. Again, I'm sorry I can't show it, but very, very happy with the changes. I'm so looking forward to getting this update at some point. Again, hopefully soon. Don't know when it's going to be. But also, I'm looking forward to continuing this Wales AAR because I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I want to get into the next era. I want to do a bit of colonization. I want to do a little bit of culture conversion, and I want to see how far I can push this campaign. So stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. If you have not purchased the game already, the pre-purchase, then you can do so with a link in the description below and also in the pinned comment. And I will see you in a couple of days with a video that I have about the Black Death. So stay tuned for that one, and yeah, I'll see you then. Toodaloo, bye-bye.